And in fact, the Russian attack on Ukraine has now entered its 100th day. For more on this, we're joined by Shai Franklin, who's a senior fellow at the Dietrich Bonhoeffer Institute. Welcome to the program. 100 days into Ukraine's war, is the current situation in the country something that you could have predicted before Putin launched his attack?
I did expect that Russia would not do well in Ukraine, but I expected that they would. I was afraid that they would do a lot worse to Ukraine. Of course, as President Zelensky said today, they do now control 1/5 of Ukrainian territory. It's very strategic. They block most of the access to the Black Sea. They are blocking grain shipments and things like that. And obviously, the Ukrainian economy is a bit literally under the gun.
And as you mentioned, President Zelensky said Russian forces now control a fifth of Ukraine's territory. How much more do you think that Russia could take?
Uh, they could possibly take more, but what we've seen over the last 100 days is that there are severe limitations to Russia's capability. Even as a very large army, there's only so much that it can do against a well-defended country. And in the end, I think this 1/5 of Ukraine is very strategic for Russia. This would be enough for Putin to claim victory, but in order to hold on to it, it's going to take a lot of continued effort, and it exposes Russian soldiers to to counterattack from Ukrainians. It exposes Russian society to continued deterioration under Putin's rule, not only in terms of his domestic rule, but what he's doing around the world, and the way that he's bringing Russia's brand down.
And as you said, this is enough for President Putin to claim victory. We've hit that mark, 100 days. How much longer do you see this war going on for?
It could go on as long as Putin wants it to, or as Putin is allowed to uh, continue it, as long as he continues hostilities. If you recall, the Russian army invaded in 2014 parts of eastern Ukraine and Crimea, and eastern Ukraine has continued to be a what we call a frozen conflict, or an ongoing low-grade conflict where soldiers get killed every day and civilians get killed every day for the last 8 years. So this could continue for a while, and holding 1/5 of Ukrainian territory means that it'll be very difficult for Ukraine to really get totally back on its feet, even as it's continuing to integrate into European markets and European institutions. And Russia will continue to be a pariah and will continue to be isolated in terms of its energy economy, in terms of its money management and moving assets around. Putin is really, there's a stark contrast between Russia under Putin and Ukraine under the Ukrainians, because it really is under Putin himself. Whereas on the Ukrainian side, we see Zelensky is very transparent. He says that Russia controls 1/5 of Ukraine. That's not a great re-election slogan, but he's honest about it. He's transparent, and Putin is the opposite. Putin still does not acknowledge the losses that he's taken.
Thank you so much, Shai Franklin from
Thank
the
you.
Dietrich Bonhoeffer Institute. I really appreciate your analysis today.